So many people. So many.
Oh, God. Josephus is here, too. Quick, lock up your daughters and your wives.
No, it's one cultured man and one uncultured man. That's what it says. I'll let you guess who's who.
Well, it depends on what
Christian's
culture you're
uncultured,
talking
right?
about. Many types of cultures, especially in the bacterial world.
At least the one mic's going. You're fine.
Got it. I'm sure it's picking you up.
I'm sure I'm loud enough.
Yeah. Look, it's on there. It's dancing. We can see
That's
it.
the little one.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But I mean, for the live stream, I bet yours.
Oh no, you were there
Kind of.
in spirit.
You can
How
help.
many cigars are you packing right now?
Enough.
More than I am. I only got the one.
I get excitable. I like to have my options.
Anyways, how you guys doing? Doing good?
Yeah, they didn't bomb Siem Reap yet, so that's good.
Oh, they got a ceasefire. Quit crying.
Well, sort of.
Till you get on this podcast and say something.
Oh man, well, what you hear out there and what's happening on the ground are two very different things.
Very fair. That's what usually happens.
Yeah, it's pretty it's pretty wild, man, to see what's happened in the last week since we were on the podcast.
I mean, why don't you give us the actual then, Bowman?
Yeah.
What,
All right,
pray
so
tell, is happening?
It's the Cameron News Network.
So so what happens first is, like, literally out of nowhere, two F-16s bomb. There's no fighting going on, nothing at the border. Like, there's
Kevin, would you do me, while you're up, sorry, 1 second, Cameron. While you're up, would you do me one favor and just flip that around and make sure it stayed in focus?
Is that your fancy TikTok camera?
Yeah. Fuck yeah, man.
That's right. That's right.
Listen, it's all about the personal brand.
Indeed, you got to build something, right?
Listen, I have to spoil your guys' plans to get me to run for governor somehow.
I do.
Literally impossible.
Yeah, I've already. This is already happening.
Have you seen the candidate pool?
No.
Exactly.
Yeah, see, exactly. You know what I'm talking about. But yeah,
Didn't the Hoff win one year?
Where?
I don't know. Did he?
Oh, that Hoff.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Yes, the Hoff did win.
Yeah.
Yeah. After.
In Lyon County.
Yes. Which is just the county over. It's fine.
He doesn't mean that Hoff, Bowman. He means Dennis Hoff.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
I figured it was probably that one.
Yeah. So tell us what's happening on the ground. Do we need the news? Good job.
News now from the ground.
Essentially, so just to put a bit of context for everybody, is that we've talked about this temple a couple times, Previer, they've been fighting over for about 800 something years.
Let's get to the juicy stuff, man. Both countries throwing a tantrum over ancient artifacts. Basically an Indiana Jones movie.
Well,
what happens next?
Low budget.
I would say this is more of one country throwing it, but so they in May, soldier gets shot. Then there's a few weeks ago, there's some border skirmish, just some firing over the border. Then it ramps up a little bit. There's some bombing going back and forth. Then there's nothing. And then out of nowhere, two F-16 bombers come in, or jets come in and drop bombs and destroy targets inside of Cambodia. Within an hour, tanks move in another area to the west of that. 5 different areas of Cambodia get invaded. And Thailand troops from Thailand, they set up and they hunker down. And so they literally just take a part of Cambodia in like 3 to 4 hours. And then they're like, okay, well, now we're here. So they just start killing people. And of course, Cambodia is trying to fight back. Now, one thing you need to know about Cambodia, jet planes, 0. None.
Problematic
They don't have any.
for modern warfare.
Attack helicopters, none. You know, Thailand has like 56 planes or 57 planes, and like jets, and 7 attack helicopters. So then immediately Thailand starts releasing stuff. What was really interesting to see was Thailand releases a report saying that 2 soldiers were killed, which was the reason for this happening. Then within like an hour, that whole report gets scrubbed, and now it's become that Cambodia has bombed a village. No soldiers have died. It's all civilians. Then within an hour of that, it's that no, a village wasn't bombed. They bombed a gas station and a hospital and school and killed children and the elderly. And so the story just kept changing from the Thai side until it finally got released outside of Southeast Asia, which was really strange to see in real time. And then, so right down the street from me is Mr. Lai and his family, his nephew, who works for the governor in Privir up there. And so he's been giving us real constant updates, and I've been there for a couple video calls where the truce is on, the ceasefire is on, sorry, and Thailand is just bombing the shit out of Cambodia with cluster bombs and everything. So they're using cluster bombs, they're dropping poisonous gas, like mustard gas, on the Cambodian side. Now, enter Donald Trump, and of course, I mean, it's so weird to say that still. But he's like, you know, he steps in apparently, and then, however, I don't know what he must have said to them, but then they decide to meet in Malaysia. Finally, they stopped firing at 6 in the morning.
I want you to see in the chat that Christian is clearly fully engaged. Meanwhile, Josephus is trying to get our channel banned, as per usual.
Oh, I can see that. Yeah, and I do look like Travis from Fire in the Sky. And if any of this group was to be abducted by aliens, it's this guy. Yeah, so it's true, Christian. It's actually really wild because the Cambodian side is very much confused about what's going on. In fact, it seems like the whole world stage that actually knows what's going on is pretty confused. Vietnam is very confused as to why Thailand would do this. Thailand just released a report that they've already lost $60 billion in tourism just this month. And it's like, what everybody's trying to figure out what exactly Thailand's. So there's a weird and complex thing that's going on here. So May 28th, soldier gets shot, right? This is just right after the new Shinawatra, the new elected government. I forget her first name. It's the first time they've had an elected government in many years. She takes power, and then suddenly out of nowhere, the military on the border in Thailand just shoots and kills a Cambodian soldier, creating an international conflict for her to deal with. Now, if you know any much about Thailand, it's that the military and the government itself have always been at odds. There's been 7 major coups since the takeover in 1938, I think it was. And so the military, oftentimes when there's an elected government, within 6 to 8 months, the military will either take up many positions in parliament and force people that were elected out and take over those seats with the military and then effectively control the government, or they will just all out take out the government. So then what happens after that is she calls the new prime minister of Thailand, makes a phone call to the head of the Senate, which is former prime minister Hun Sen, who was the one that was leading the country since the Khmer Rouge. They have a private conversation which he recorded, and it's very cordial about, you can't just shoot people, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, we're very sorry. We don't know what happened. The military made some mistakes. I'm trying to figure it out. So he goes and he releases that tape. And immediately the Thai military comes in and overthrows the elected government and puts in their own people. And then shortly thereafter, they close the border for like 3 weeks. And then shortly thereafter, now they're attacking Cambodia. So there's a bunch of political turmoil going on in the ranks over there. And so people are wondering, is this like some kind of odd operation where the Thai government is going to try to spin it as if the military has lost its mind and done it on their own, and they can't control their military, and they're going to ask for international aid? Or is this like, what is this? It's a mess. Lane, this would be a good place for you to pipe in on your thoughts.
I mean, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know that I have any. Like, I don't fully grasp the mechanics of what's happening there. Probably largely because I haven't been paying attention.
to me talking.
But I don't see
Both.
like, usually you can look at something and you can see what they say they want, and then you can see what they're trying to accomplish. And I don't know what they're trying to accomplish here.
Yeah, and that's the strange part. It's what's the carrot at the end of the stick here? Like what?
I mean, unless like, when they're talking to other countries, they're friends. They're like, bombing Cambodia because, that's what you do. I don't understand it.
Yeah, I mean, what was interesting was pretty scary for us. Is so I go down to the shop. This was like a week ago, and this was right after they bombed with the jets. And the head of the anti-Cambodian squad is what it's called, I think. He said to the military chief in Cambodia, he sent him a message saying that within 3 days, if I want it, I'm going to take Siem Reap and all of Angkor, and you can't do anything to stop it. And in the end, they're absolutely right. What is Cambodia going to do? They're still firing AK-47s from the Vietnam War era. They have barely any military capability, let alone if you look at the troops that are on the front lines, many of them are in their 60s right now.
I mean, is it just that, I'm not trying to, inflate the U.S. position in the world. However, for a very long time, if you wanted, the sole influence in stopping countries taking land by force was the United States military and our foreign policy. Is it possible that there's a great number of countries in the world who want more land for their country, and now we're like, oh, we can take it because if we can make a good enough deal with the big orange Oprah, we'll be fine.
Well, one of the big problems that you have here is if you look at geopolitical situation here, Thailand very openly is backed on 100% of their military power is from the United States. All the jets, all the tanks, all the ammunition.
Oh yeah, that's been true
guns,
forever.
Everything. Yeah. Oh yeah, since pre-Vietnam War, and so they're heavily backed by Thailand. There's 6 military bases and 1 naval base that are U.S. That are in Thailand, and on the other side of the aisle, Cambodia is heavily backed by China and Russia. So this could quickly spiral into China versus U.S. backdoor war over here, proxy war.
Oh,
not
with Trump in power. No, I think that might be the point, right? Is that not on the Cambodian side, but on the Thailand side, we were going to be Thailand's friends so long as ... they played by the sort of implied rules that we created. And right now, with the current president, there aren't a whole lot of implied rules. It's, what value can we create for them? And if we can do it properly, do they even care what we're doing? I mean, is it really just that simple?
I think that what I see, okay, so living in Cambodia for 7 years, dealing with high-level government, I've dealt with these very generals that are on the lines right now. When I owned the businesses I did over there, I dealt with higher-ups all the time. And I can tell you one thing about Thailand is Thailand doesn't know who Thailand is. Thailand is extremely confused over its own identity from the inside since the former king died. It's never rectified itself. The current king lives in Germany, doesn't even consider himself Thai, barely is ever in the country, is a complete maniac. The only reason why he hasn't abdicated the crown is because of the way it's set up, he's a German citizen. He was born in Germany. So if he were to abdicate the crown and take any of his money, well then by inheritance law in Germany, they would get half of his entire wealth, which is half of the GDP of Thailand.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's so many problems for that. It's a fun theoretical legal story, and in practice, nearly impossible to execute.
Yeah, for him, it was just simple enough. He's like, whatever, let the military run the country. I'm going to stay in Germany and snort coke and do whatever I do.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm it's possible that they just don't feel restrained at this point. They just feel like they can do these things now where they couldn't before. And I mean, listen, I think if you don't know who you are and you're trying to find yourself, what's the first reflex? More.
Yeah, the Holdren, the
Yeah.
Holdren reflex. But now I think that they've come to realize one thing that's very painful, I think, for Thailand at the moment. In the first 4 days, they successfully steered the international news like very, very well. Like it was all about, because I watch all that stuff. I have a news website, so I have to watch all this crap. And it was all about Thailand, how Cambodia is the aggressor, and then the world kind of sobers up at a point, and then the first reporters from the West show up here, and they're like, okay, wait, this isn't the same situation. And now I think Thailand's going to be dealing with their international image right now is not good, because most people have looked at it and they're like, wait, what? Doesn't it just seem like this massive military power just shitting all over their neighbor because they can? Like, it just doesn't look good for them.
But you have,
and
to,
I think that
you have to ask yourself if they care.
Well, I think that's. I don't think that they did. I think that by and large, they still consider the way that they view the world is it's the same way that China does, is that they can control the narrative, they control the news. And inside of their own country, they absolutely do. But I don't think they quite grasp how much media has changed over the last 5 years. And I don't think they quite understand what the result of that can be. So their tourism's in the toilet now. If you look in the Australian website, they're marked as the third level up. So Cambodia, ironically, is still green. Travel, no restrictions, enjoy yourself. Thailand is express extreme caution in all areas. Don't go anywhere near the border. Don't go to the islands. Don't go here. Don't go there. It looks really bad. And so Thailand's GDP is heavily tied to tourism, and tourism is plummeting in Thailand right now. And money is money, and eventually Thailand's going to have to wake up and go, hold on, where did all the money go? Or they don't have to, but I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah,
But
I
that's just my
don't
opinion
know
from
the financial breakdown of the Thai economy, unfortunately. I just wonder, I don't know. I just wonder, one, I wonder how they assumed license for this action. Two, obviously, what's their purpose?
I thought it was a dude stepped on a landmine.
No, that came later. So
okay.
May 28th was when they just out of nowhere shot a Cambodian troop across the border. And the Thai claim was that Cambodians were invading that border and trying to take sovereign Thai land, which literally makes no sense. The Cambodian soldiers up there are in their 60s and they're using AK-47s. The Thai soldiers are in their 20s and they're using modern warfare. It'd be like me going into a tournament on Call of Duty, whatever it is now, whatever version it is now,
6
against the pro players, Call of Duty 6, going in, never even playing player versus player stuff, let alone shoot 'em up stuff, and thinking I'm going to win the tournament. I mean, it's just, I would get slaughtered. I wouldn't even know, I wouldn't have any idea what was going on. I'd be like, wait, I'm dead again? What? That's what it would be like. So, but then later, so that's the mind thing is very interesting. So So the Thais put out a video of a Cambodian supposedly planting a mine, and then it's so first there's this Thai soldier steps on this mine, blows off his leg, right? Supposedly. Now the initial pictures that were released in Southeast Asia were the mine that was blown up, and it's like Vietnam era tech. It's like, okay, well, that was probably from the Khmer Rouge. They probably shouldn't have been stumbling around in the jungle, as everybody knows about Cambodia. If you like your legs, don't take a piss in the jungle. And so, to me, that was pretty evidently clear that they shouldn't do that. But then, all of a sudden, there's a video that comes out of a Cambodian planting a new mine. Then they change the story, bring out this mine, and say, see, this is the mine, and it's like brand new military tech. And it's like, well, hold on. So you videotaped this guy planting this mine, then stepped on it? It's just all so ridiculous. And then yesterday, it got even funnier. You want to hear this is my favorite story so far. Not that the tragedy of the deaths of people is funny, but don't get me wrong. But yesterday, the Thai media releases this big thing that they caught a Cambodian spy in, I think, Chiang Mai. And get this, they're like, they suspected it. He's a Cambodian national. He's been there as a teacher. And when they raided him, they found 6 Cambodian military uniforms in his closet. Okay. That's not very good spy behavior, is it? It's like, I'm going to go into your country and I'm going to bring the fatigues for my military and spy undercover. Now, if you've ever been to Thailand and owned a business, you'll know that they come and they plant evidence. I caught them doing it one time and put it on Facebook Live, which they were not very happy about, but they couldn't do anything about. But they made my life a living hell, that's for sure. But yeah, so they packaged up to some Cambodian guy and said, oh, he's obviously a spy because he has 6 Cambodian military uniforms. I mean, it's just getting ridiculous over there. From the Cambodian side, what's happened right from the beginning is they went to the International Court of Justice and asked for the UN to intervene from day one. And they haven't tried anything else aside from that. So I don't know, but it'll be interesting to see.
I thought both sides agreed to ceasefire, mediation, something in another country, with another country.
Yeah, Malaysia. So right now, what happened is last night at midnight, a Malaysian attaché was dispatched. So both leaders and diplomats from the U.S. and the State Department went to Malaysia to talk about it, and they did a peace treaty until August 4th. Not peace treaty, sorry, a ceasefire until, yeah, my apologies. A ceasefire until August 4th. Under the conditions that a military attaché from Malaysia and Western reporters are dispatched to both sides. They showed up last night at midnight in Cambodia and in Thailand, independently of each other, so that they can observe the situation on the ground. Then they'll have another conversation today. Then they'll take a break until August 4th. And then on August 4th, apparently, from what I understand, they're going to decide whether it's going to be peace or war, and there is no in between.
Okay. I mean, I wonder, right? Like, you've got a couple of options, and I'm just making shit up at this point. But you've got a couple of options. Either Thailand has a real purpose, in which case it's going to be war because they have to accomplish whatever the purpose is, right?
Right.
Or this is literally just Anchorman. Really escalated quickly. Yeah, that got out of hand fast.
I mean, I'm hoping that that's the case, that because if that is the case, then this will get solved. But if Thailand is going to want to, so this is the other sad part about this, is we just got a video from the guy at the border. Pravir Temple, which was built in the 11th century, they cluster bombed it, Thailand did, and destroyed the front half of an 11th century temple. So at that point, to me, it's kind of a human issue, because that's all of human history. It's not just Cambodia. That's like the history of humans on Earth. And that's pretty that's pushing it for the international community, I would think. That's going to cause some scrutiny, I would hope, enough to where I can't imagine that Thailand's just going to be okay with the world bearing down on them. But hey, you never know. We'll find out on August 4th. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean the Trump School of Foreign Policy dictates you just need to get to the next press conference.
Spoken well, Governor.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I see little bits and pieces of it. Like, it's not covered very well here generally, but I see little bits and pieces of it, and they don't generally make sense. It's not coherent yet, like what the purpose is or what their purposes could be. I mean, it could be like real conspiracy theory, like literally Thailand's our friend. Trump felt a little extra heat over here, and he made a call to Thailand. He was like, hey, I need you to go do some things. Like, I need some other news coverage right now.
Project Wet Noodle is a go.
Yeah.
I mean, that is, it's okay. So the Monstralian has a theory, a conspiracy theory. And you know what? She may be right. She has a theory that since the Epstein thing has been going on for Trump, that he needed an easy win to look like the good guy across the world. So he calls his buddies Thailand, says, attack Cambodia, and then let me come in, and I'm going to create a ceasefire, and I'm going to stop this situation. And then Trump will be in the good graces of the world again, and nobody will forget about the Epstein files. That's the Monstralian's conspiracy theory, and I have to say it's not a bad one.
I mean, I think it would be less than that. I think it's a distraction because he's going to get the win with Ukraine. Like, he's put Putin on a time clock. The whole world's going to be like, they finally came around. It was Trump that did it, whatever. And then, I mean, there's a lot of places internationally for wins for Trump right now if he wants them, but I don't know that he has the ability to capitalize.
You've heard the conspiracy
The news conference about Israel was amazing. I mean,
see it.
I've seen the photos on
fill me
TV.
in.
They look pretty hungry. Like, oh, Jesus, man. Like did you see that was a legitimate press conference?
Yeah.
While he was in Scotland, he was talking about food aid in Gaza, and it's like, well, I don't know that I believe Bibi, that no one's starving there. I've seen the photos on TV. They look pretty hungry. Like, what did you just say?
Was that in between rounds of golf?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
No, legitimately.
So speaking of how to play a good villain, is Trump a villain or an anti-hero?
I think he's confused.
Dude, Trump, I've said this before, I'll say it again. Trump is the Mr. Magoo of politics.
Yeah.
He has no capacity to be a villain, a hero, or an anti-hero. He is stumbling through the world, dodging bullets somehow, and no one understands how or why.
Isn't that what you said Scott was? Is that he was the Mr. Magoo of the hostile world?
No, because Scott's actually been to jail. He's been run out of countries. That's different.
Yeah, him and I both. Oh man!
I mean, listen,
Did I ever
if Scott had never served time in federal prison, I wouldn't have the knowledge I do about remote viewing, and that would be a tragedy.
Yeah, the remote viewing thing, dude, and then he would win a lot actually with that, and he'd lose a lot also. But but you definitely know it when he won.
He got so
But yeah.
mad at me one time, like almost Chef Andy chasing with a knife through the kitchen mat, because he's like, "You need to do this," and I was like, "All right, whatever." And he's like, so he goes through the deal, like, I'm going to give you an item on Monday, whatever, after the game on Sunday. Items are assigned to point spreads for different games, right? And I'm like, okay, whatever. He's like, you need to draw it. Like, okay. And I remember I didn't draw it, or I didn't deliver the item. Something happened. And I broke the chain, and he was pissed. He was like, "Why didn't you execute? Like, you didn't finish?" I'm like, "Yeah, because I don't care."
Yeah, I think he took the wrong horse on that one, man.
Yeah, I know for sure he did. He never asked me to do it again. He would try. He would walk up and he'd think about it and be like, "Nope. No, you let me down." I'm like, "Yes, I did."
You failed this city.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see, but yeah, I don't know. The whole international thing. There is a chance, literally a legitimate chance, that Thailand was just looking at this from a world perspective and going, well, why does Russia just get to take parts of Ukraine? And why does Israel get to take parts of Gaza? Well, we want Cambodia.
Yeah, why does everyone else get to do war and not us?
Yeah, why can't we just go in and take what we want?
Wait until the
Everybody else is
Canadians
doing
want to
it.
join.
The mother Canuckers get them over.
Hey, they're the reason. A lot of our Geneva Convention is because of them.
Oh, you mean the prohibitions
Yes.
in the Geneva Convention? Listen, the fat electrician nailed it. Never a war crime the first time.
Exactly.
Never were. Did you guys see the new South Park?
I did not.
No.
Oh my lord, it is spectacular.
Yeah.
Well, so you have to understand the context of this whole thing, right? So you have going on in one corner, you've got CBS canceling Colbert, right?
Mm.
Which is like this huge, all the libtards are like,
Which-
this is the worst thing ever.
I was like, I mean, it looks a little vindictive. And then someone goes, the show was losing $40 million a year. And I go,
Yeah.
why did it take them this long to cancel it?
You know they have 200 staff members?
Yeah.
For a
What
fucking
in-
show.
what
200
would
staff
you-
members.
I never cared
What
for
the
Colbert.
hell do you need that many staff members for a late night TV? It should be like 10.
Yeah.
Like, I never
But
cared
that's
for
more-
Colbert. Watching that was just agonizing for me.
Yeah, I don't
Well,
understand.
that's as far as staff goes. That's more people than Cambodia has fighting at the border.
Yeah, no. Like, I saw the actual numbers on it. I'm like, guys, but really, though, like, business decisions sometimes have to be made.
I'm all about hiring your friends, but fuck, man.
Yes.
Well, I mean, the thing about Colbert is I think he did the same thing that J.P. Sears did to himself in a different way. I don't know if you guys are familiar with J.P. Sears or not, but J.P. Sears is a comedian that's a YouTube influencer guy, and he had this, man, he hit gold with this viral thing, which was if meat eaters act like vegans, which is one of the funniest things ever.
Is he the redheaded dude?
Yes.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
So he was on it, man, and killing it. And then he started this thing called We Lie to You News, which was funny at first. And it's like, you know, he's like in a torn up like suit and he just looks all tattered and it looks like a real newsroom. And he just ruthlessly making fun of only liberals, right? So full on Trump army, like MAGA. Well, it didn't go well towards the end for him as far as turning that hard on like towards Trump. It alienated him out and he lost about half his viewership in the end. And then now he's going back to being the funny guy who does the funny stuff, but now there's less people to watch it.
Yeah,
And
now
so
he's starting from a hole now.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that with Colbert, it was sort of the same thing. It's like, I'm not allowed to say it on the podcast, but it is a quote from one of our favorite films, or one of my favorite films, Tropic Thunder.
No.
As said by Robert Downey Jr.
Yes.
Never go full blank.
You can't go full blank. And unfortunately, I think both Colbert and J.P. Sears went in different directions, but Colbert just went full on anti and went full blank. And then now I think he lost a lot of viewership because he did used to be funny, especially on The Daily Show, and he was pretty relevant for a while. But it's a garbage show, and so it makes sense that it would get canceled. So fast forward to South Park gets their new deal with Paramount, and it's $1.5 billion deal, and that check starts the minute that they air their first episode. And so there's all this talk about how the reason Colbert got fired is really because Trump put pressure because he was so anti-Trump, and Trump put a ton of pressure on them, and they paid him $40 million out of that lawsuit. So they canceled Colbert because that's where the $40 million supposedly went, blah, 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 conspiracy. You know, that's sort of like how that whole thing goes. So then fast forward, Paramount has South Park, and one thing everybody knows about South Park is networks don't get to see what they're going to release before they release it. That's one of their
contractual arrangements.
Yes, which they can do because they own 100% of the rights to South Park. So they release it on their $1.5 billion paycheck day, and it is just, I don't know if you remember the Saddam Hussein episodes back in the day.
Yep.
Where Saddam Hussein's like sleeping with the devil. Well, now it's Trump, and they have him with the smallest package possible that you could ever imagine, and they show it like 5 times in the thing, and it culminates with he sues South Park for $5 billion. Trump sues South Park for $5 billion. The town of South Park, and Jesus is trying to mitigate and tell them that they have to shut up because they're going to get themselves canceled if they don't shut up, or they'll go the way of Colbert. And then they move forward to a deep fake of Donald Trump wandering through the desert with his wang out, dude. And it's like a half an inch long, and they don't bleep it out or anything. It's just ridiculous.
I mean, it's South Park. It's what they do.
Yeah.
Go after everybody.
My favorite part is I can't imagine in any way, shape, or form that when those guys were sitting in college in Utah, cutting stuff out on construction paper and making this silly thing, that they would imagine, fast forward, the press secretary for the President of the United States having an entire press conference just based off of this episode
about South Park. All right, I want to step back a little bit though, because here, like, I understand the conspiracy theory. Like, we fired Colbert to get the merger. We fired Colbert a year from now to get the merger, which is a little bit screwball. But here's what probably happened. This is like Clue, right? So they're in a meeting, and they're talking about Colbert. And they're like, that show, we're losing $40 million a year on that show. And they're like, shit, we should probably think about canceling that. They're like, yeah, it's a lot of money. And then someone goes, you know, you remember when Trump said he didn't like Colbert very much? They're like, yeah. They're like, well, this merger's going through. They go, oh, so wait, like we could cancel this show, save $40 million, and probably guarantee that we get the merger. Let's do that.
Genius.
Yeah, that probably
Pure
makes sense.
genius.
Yeah. Like, it just made their decision really easy, as if $40 million a year didn't make it easy to begin with. But it's just one of those things that, like, it probably sealed the deal.
Well, I mean, I think that it's also in a period in time where television, by and large, itself is becoming basically prehistoric. Like, people don't really. It's people just wait for stuff to. It's just I don't know. It seems like the whole TV model is died on the vine. It went the way of 35 millimeter film.
I mean, I think it's a little bit different than 35 millimeter film. TV could still be successful. Like, cable could still be successful if they could make their value proposition significantly better. Because streaming is also having issues, and that they are pricing themselves out of the market with the number of options that are available, right? Like, now you're paying more for the number of streaming services you have than you would for a cable package. Mm-hmm. There's an opportunity to take advantage of that. I don't know that cable's nimble enough to do it, but there's a way to do it.
I would think. I mean, I'm sure if there's a will, there's a way, and there's always a will, and there's always a way, right? But
well, and just because cable still represents a bunch of equipment, a bunch of production, like, if they've done it right, they have writers, they have systems and networks to put product on air somewhere, right? If they diversified, they created an inclusive value proposition, they could probably survive quite well and give companies like Netflix a run for their money. They don't seem to be doing it because they're so desperately grasping onto their margins in the old model, they're going to die. But it's doable.
Yeah, I mean, the problem, I guess, on the other side of it too is that, like, I mean, it's got plenty of, like you said, it's got tons of equipment, it's got lots of training, it's got all the different things about it, right? It has all those things. And but on the other side of that, now you have, with every iPhone, you can shoot 4K 24 frame per second, and I think that a lot of that equipment's dated, for one, and I don't see them converting over to using, like, the way that people digest media or any kind of, like, show or anything these days seems to have changed a lot, to more people watching it through their mobile phone and screen, and they're used to a certain product like YouTube. Like, there's people who don't like to click on the full screen on YouTube because they like the comfort of seeing the YouTube logo and the conversation on the chat on the side and stuff, you know what I mean? And I don't see how TV can mimic that.
I mean, I don't see why they can't, right? Like, the equipment, I think the equipment's not as dated as you think. It's obviously more cumbersome than an iPhone, but if you can master the format, right? So, like, whether it's YouTube and its traditional format or it's TikTok and it's vertical, you need to create, like, comedic shorts and do many, many more of them. You need to run something that runs, like, on a YouTube format. Like, if you have an inclusive model as far as, like, where the media can be delivered, you can change the structure of the media itself. And you're gonna, like, even with that cumbersome equipment, you're still getting a more advanced presentation. You're getting more advanced editing. You're getting more advanced videography. And eventually that stuff does matter. Like, there are certain things you still can't do with an iPhone or a group of iPhones that you can do with the kind of equipment that exists in a proper studio.
Well, I mean, you're not going to compete with a Panavision, camera. I mean, and the lenses are a major factor in that, as well as shutters and that kind of stuff for now.
Well, and even when you're just talking about multiple cameras running through, like, a single position, so that you can transition stuff better, or, like, editing bays, or how you edit, or, like, I still think there is a huge opportunity for these traditional platforms and these traditional studios to be successful, but they're going to have to adapt a lot, and they're going to have to do it relatively quickly. And they're going to have to change how they charge for it and the ways in which it can be delivered, right? Because the idea that, like, if you have cable, but you still have to upgrade to, like, Peacock Plus to get sports, to get a replay of sports that you could only watch live at whatever, like, they're going to have to get past that. Like, that's just margin they're not going to get.
Yeah. I mean, it's whenever you're talking about I guess, terraforming realistically an industry at whole, that's going to take some pretty brilliant minds, multiple types of them, to get together and really rally the troops. And I just don't know that. I don't know that they've got the gusto left. You know what I mean?
I think they've got the gusto. I don't know that they have shareholders willing to give up margin and profits on a quarterly basis necessary to accomplish that goal.
I would agree with that statement, Governor.
But I think it's possible. Yeah. They still have a lot of tools. They just have to use the tools properly.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Speaking of tools, what are you smoking on?
What am I smoking, Casey? It's the Oliva 35 Reserve. What is that? Not the 35. It's the red and black and white label.
Which one?
There it's. Wait, hold on.
Oh,
What's that?
Yeah, the Reserve Collection.
This is the P&K exclusive, yeah. Mm-hmm. I grabbed something light. It's unlike me.
I know, it's weird.
Good though.
It is tasty.
I mean, it's a good Connecticut.
It's just a better Connecticut Reserve, I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
I like it.
What are you guys smoking, gentlemen? And where's your Cambodian cigar, Cambodian Cameron?
Can't find it. Not in Siem Reap. Everything's ground to a halt as a result of this war. Pretty much everything's just moving towards the border only. That's all anybody's focused on, which just makes sense, you know.
Yeah, that's fair.
We're trying to figure out, I guess, because we open our bar Saturday, so it's kind of an interesting time to open a bar when all the borders are closed and there's a war been going on for a couple weeks. But we're trying to figure out, we're going to do a fundraiser of some kind, just donate 100% of profits to go directly to the border. So, but that in itself is a slippery slope. I imagine you can, because so what's crazy is there's like, what happens in these situations is you can end up like, okay, so there's this guy, I'm not going to name who he is, but he lives in this town, and he's one of these guys that's like a life coach and a self-help guy and a just give you an idea of who he is.
He's the kind of person I would want to punch in the mouth.
He's a guru.
Oh, he wouldn't last 8 seconds in your orbit, dude. Actually, in any of your orbits.
Sell me this pen.
Yeah, exactly. He would break apart in so many different ways across any of our paths, including mine. And so when I first come back, like I met this guy a couple times, and then he's at my open mic. My open mic's totally packed, right? I show up. He comes up to me before I come into the open mic, and he's like, "Hey, man, can we talk real quick?" This is before, just to give you an idea of who he is. And I'm like, yeah, what's going on, man? And he's like, so I heard that you're having difficulty with your personal relationships. And I was like, what? And he's like, well, somebody took me aside and told me that you're having real trouble in personal relationships, that you might need somewhere to stay. And I was like, who told you that? And he's like, well, obviously I can't say that, but if you need somewhere to stay, you know, you can come stay with me, man. And I'm like, dude, I own a hostel and 2 Airbnbs. Like, if I needed to stay somewhere, I'd just go to my hostel. Who told you this? And he's like, oh, well, I mean, it's not my first time I've heard wrong, man. Just wanted to make sure that you know that I'm here if you need to meet with a real man. And I'm like, all right, man. Well, anyway, thanks. I appreciate that. And I'm going to go in and go play music for 4 hours to the sold-out audience that's there.
There's a solid chance that he just looked at you, saw Bush Pilot, and thought, you must be poor.
Well, I've known the guy before this, so so anyway, so now fast forward to he's still doing this stuff where like men meetups, and you got to pay like $15 to be part of the man meetup, and you pay him for going out in the jungle and fucking meditating on whatever. And so he goes, and mind you, the day that this all begins, there's tons of Cambodians already sending rice and food and clothing and cookers and everything to the border, right? There's a well-known train. There's a drop-off point for money and supplies at a place called the Mended Drum, cool place. And it's all set up, right? So 4 days later, all of a sudden, he posts on Facebook in all the groups, okay, well, I have finally made the drop-off point for all supplies to go to the border, right?
Yeah. Clearly trying to make himself important in a situation where only charity is needed.
Yeah. And so the virtue signaling is just like off the charts, right? And everybody's just like, oh my God. So then everybody's like, like writing in there like, hey, do you actually know what you're doing? Like, do you realize that there's going to be NGOs up there? How are you going to deliver the product? Do you know where it's going to be stored? They start asking the hard questions because they're like, people are like, well, you could send up a bunch of stuff that goes rotten that could make people sick. Like, there's proper ways to do this. There's already multiple different people doing this that have done this before, that have been in humanitarian action here, that aren't government related. Basically what makes you so special?
And his answer was?
And he just deleted all the posts.
Oh, yeah, just scrubbed it. He's like, oh, this was a bad idea.
Yeah, and so now, because of that, the Monstralian is afraid that if we do a fundraiser at our bar, that people are going to think we're virtue signaling and that we're going to end up on the bad side of it. And I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, I wonder how many people that actually do want to help don't end up doing it because of douchebags like that guy.
Probably a fair number.
Like a lot of people, we could probably raise maybe $1,000 out of a night here at the bar just to give to whoever, whoever it is. But we're like reluctant to do so because we've got this guy popping around acting like a complete moron. Just like, look at me, and
why don't you just find a legitimate partner? Let them take the money. Just bring down a representative from a reputable NGO, have them on site. They take like the money goes into the NGO's account directly. You serve whatever it is you're going to serve these people, and they go away.
That's my plan. So, and I mean, also there's another guy. There's a guy who owns Joe's Burger here, who's already got like a train of vehicles that he brings up every day, and he's lived here for like 30 years or something. And I figure he's probably a good one just to be like, okay, here he's got GoFundMe's running and everything, and he's tracking all the dollars. So it's just like, we'll throw the event, we give you the money. I don't want to be responsible for the money is the main part.
What services are you offering for the cash?
What do you mean for like services? If I was gonna
no, but you're just gonna like give them a bunch of drinks. Is it like how are you doing? Like, what's the plan? Is it like free drinks for anyone that shows up? Like, as long as they pay whatever to the NGO? Is it like per drink? Can you just have them buy like just get a roll of stupid ticket, like paper tickets, and then like they give give a contribution to the NGO and they get a certain number of tickets and then they go party and you don't have to do anything.
Well, I mean, that's a good way to do it. I didn't think about that. Because yeah, I mean, we need to recoup at least part of our costs. Like, originally my whole plan was just basically because we have a POS system. I just track all sales minus cost, and then any profit goes direct to them. But
what if you just take a flyer on it, right? Take a flyer, and say like your entry fee into the party and your first 2 drinks all go to the NGO. So they come in, they get 2 drink tickets, they get their entry and 2 drink tickets. There's no transaction, and just hope that whatever comes after that covers your cost. And then on top of that, be like, once we meet our cost, anything extra will also go to the NGO.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good way to do it.
But like, the more you can take yourself out of the financial equation, the more credibility you're going to get as a fundraiser.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, definitely, I'll have to ask you some more questions about it too, because yeah, I want to help because I have the means, but I don't want to look like I don't want to bungle it and then end up being like people be like, what,
Yeah, just let someone else handle the transaction up to a point. Just take a flyer, and you can calculate that out. Like, how many drinks do people drink when they go out there? 4. Okay. 2. The other 2, you've got a 50% markup. You lose in the entry fee, but there's no cost to that, and you get your margin back on the other 2 drinks. And you just have to hope that they're going to meet the average drink per person, to get you there. You might lose a little bit, but I think it's probably worth it for the cause. If you lose any, that's just your donation to the charity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you mean. And then my other hope is there's all the musicians in town are asking what they can do.
Jesus, Christian. I mean,
Christian. Yes.
It's a pretty paltry Like it's kind of a desert there. I could use whatever they have to offer.
That's 5% donation to your election fund is what it is.
Yeah,
That's what I just wrote it in. I just wrote that into the
yeah.
into the chat. towards the good Lane Hagen for I made the poster and everything already.
I'm gonna have to figure out what kind of business entity I have to create to hold money for a campaign. Shit. I got to do work now. It was never part of the plan.
Hey, you never had a plan. We just threw one together for you.
Is the poster just Lane dressed as Uncle Sam?
It's actually not far from what it is, except for he's wrapped in a suit made of the Nevada flag.
Perfect.
The only problem was I couldn't get the AI to actually every time I had to do Lane's face, it ends up making him look like Jimmy Carter.
Seriously?
Yeah, I don't know why, dude. It's just it brings Carter right out of you every time. I see more of a Nixon there myself, but
good.
you know.
We're citing some spectacular presidents. It's a great visual image.
Well, it obviously knew not to do Obama for reasons.
Yeah, for reasons, right?
But
Anyway. So wait,
yeah. So go ahead.
whiskeys? You guys want to do whiskeys real fast? Do you care?
Sure, we can.
Well,
I don't care.
It's gay.
Did we even find out what you guys are smoking?
No, Cameron cut us off because he's a dick.
Okay. So what are you smoking,
That's also true.
Casey?
I'm having an Aganorsa,
Which Aganorsa?
Connecticut.
Okay.
How's
Kind of
that?
a disturbing choice.
Why?
I don't know, it just seems a little tame.
Well, I had a Rocket Patel earlier.
So you can't taste that.
No,
Okay, good.
it's a prop.
I do like that cigar.
It's a prop.
As
for
a
prop's
first
sake.
cigar. A prop for prop's sake, he says.
And I am smoking the Leaf by Oscar Maduro.
Oh, I saw the leaf in your pocket.
Yeah, I stumble across one. I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna take that.
All right.
Where at?
That Carson Cigar Bar.
Okay, what
yeah.
reviews coming up this week?
Yeah.
There's an issue with the humidor because they put it right above the unit itself that blows. So they're for some reason they're a little drier than they should be, surprisingly. And I think that's just because the air's blowing across them more than anything.
Yeah, it's probably pushing the humidity right past it.
Yeah,
You got to give that humidor some room.
you should. But their humidor is
It's so tiny.
a quarter the size of ours.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's
there.
small. Yeah, I get
Of
that.
yours?
Yeah.
Wow. Is it like a box on somebody's table?
No, it's about the size of a closet.
It's about the size of a phone booth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is small.
It's about the size of Trump's Hwang in South Park.
Wait, hold on. So we're gonna skip the bourbon for a second.
Yep.
All right. So the last year and a half in the shop, a little tight, not great in the casino, right? But we've now got the humidor back to a pretty good place.
Yeah.
We're waiting on one more shipment for the end cap, but I'd say 85% of the boxes are full.
Yeah.
Right? It's pretty good.
It's pretty fair.
So, and we you get the guy, and they're like looking pretty thin in there. And this is like in the dark times, the valleys. You know,
Yeah.
you would get that a lot. And I think you'll say I'm pretty good with that situation. You know, I can just brush it off. Like, yeah, I just sold a lot this weekend. You know, kind of a thin week, whatever. And this guy comes in, and he's a little kooky. I don't know if he didn't come across as intoxicated, but he wasn't quite right. And he'd been here before, I think. He walks in. Oh, he had, because he's describing where the counter used to be and whatever. And he starts, giving me the business. And he's like, yeah, I just don't understand why so many boxes are empty. And I look over there. I'm like, dude, not that many boxes are empty.
Yeah.
I'm like, I guess there's a couple empty in there. It's just one of those things that happens. He's like, I don't know. I'd call it. Like, I was arguing with me. He's like, I'd call it like 50%. I'm like, well, I don't think that's right. He's like, wow, agree to disagree. I'm like, well, or we could just do math. Like,
Yeah.
and then he goes, well, I'm thinking about getting a cigar later. Okay, cool. Like, what do you want? Cuban. Don't have that, man. He's like, yeah. I mean, I've got a guy. He brings me up cigars from Cancun, fresh Cubans, and they're amazing. And I go, well, you don't want to smoke a fresh Cuban. That'll make you sick. He's like, what? I'm like, Cuban needs 3 to 4 years of age before it's even smokable, man. He goes, well, these are fresh. I'm like, well, they're either not fresh or they're not Cuban.
Yeah.
Because now I'm getting a little punchy.
What, you?
He's like,
No.
what are you trying to say? I'm like, I'm just saying, good Cubans, like a lot of ammonia, really rich soil, 3 to 4 years of age before it's a smokable cigar. Just pretty common knowledge for people that smoke Cubans. Now I'm just appealing to his ego. Well, what do you have that's like a Cuban? And now I'm just kind of done with it. Like, nothing. What? Yeah, nothing. I got Dominican, I got Nicaraguan, I got some amazing cigars. Nothing like a Cuban in there, though, man. I'm sorry. Well, I guess we'll just have to go find another place. I'm sure somewhere around here sells Cubans. I'm like, yep, I'm sure somewhere does. You should definitely try Dart discount liquor.
Oh, Dart. We should get them as a sponsor. I bet they'd sponsor this podcast.
The new owner would have no part of it.
Oh, really?
No, we
Also, I make fun of him a
yeah,
lot.
we shit on them a lot. So it's
His prices are like 75% over secondary. That's how high his prices are.
It's rough.
bad.
Oh,
there's no discount liquor at all in there.
Yeah, no, nothing about that is discount anymore.
Dart used to be so awesome when we were kids, dude. I used to go into that place and steal so much.
Oh yeah, dude.
was amazing.
If you knew what to do, this was the deal. Now, I never did this. I wasn't I just didn't feel
Of
right to
course.
me.
You're the governor.
No, I didn't. I legitimately.
I know
didn't.
you didn't. That's why you'll be governor. And I won't.
But you would go in and you would order, you would ask for whatever bottles you wanted and a box of ice because they sold lined boxes of ice. They didn't have, they had a ridiculous ice machine, but they didn't have, the pre-made bags. And then you would throw the guy an extra $50 and you would get $200 to $300 in alcohol in your box of ice.
Genius.
Yeah, that was
Pure
one of the
genius.
ways. I was lucky because my dad was the alcohol distributor to them.
Yeah.
So I could just, when I went in there, they just wouldn't look at me.
Yeah.
So I could just go in and just steal whatever I wanted. And they would just be like, oh, well, he must be getting some backstock for his dad to get maybe or something.
I mean, I would call that tacit approval. I'm not even sure that's theft at that point.
That's why you're going to be governor, my friend.
Yeah,
I think we
Dart
have
used to
somebody new in
be
chat.
everyone I knew went to Dart for the Dart bonus.
That's what the ice thing was called, the dart
Dart
bonus.
bonus.
It was bad for a long time. Their inventory couldn't ever make sense.
Well, there was the one at that was right at Rayleigh's too. That one was bad too, wasn't it? Everybody ripped that one off. I used to steal King Edward's from there when I was a kid.
I don't know. I don't think any of my friends did that. There was the one we had. One of my buddies had some sort of a disorder when he was a freshman, and they had to put him on steroids, like a pretty serious dose of steroids. And his beard came in. Also, he dressed like he was 92, high-waisted jeans, red flannel tucked in, work boots, and he looked kind of goofy anyway. He looked by the time we were sophomores, he looked like he was about 36 and never got carded. Just walked in to, it was King's Liquor. He would just walk in and go straight back, walked in like he knew exactly what he was doing, could buy whatever he wanted, was never ID'd.
Fair.
Anyway, bourbons. Old Forester, 100 proof incline pick. It's damn near the last of the bottle. Don't know. Pinhook, barrel series, something.
I'd say with this cigar, the Old Forester, I wouldn't pay as much as we did for it.
Dude, the 100 proofers aren't expensive. That was a $55 bottle.
Okay, I was thinking it was similar to the...
No, it was super cheap.
Okay, then yeah, I'd pay that. The pin hook, I'd pay less than what I paid for it.
You do
originally.
get, on the Old Forester, when you're smoking a cigar, the char comes out. I think that's a function of the heat cycling. But you do get a bit of the barrel char, a bit more of it than you normally do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the middle. The middle's pretty good.
Middle one's good.
Yeah?
I'd put it
the
right
middle one
around-
tastes a lot like the pinhook to me.
Yeah, I'd put it right around 60 for what I would pay for it.
Does it?
Yeah, there's a confectioner sugar note, like a vanilla cream note on the third one that this one doesn't have.
Yeah, I've got a real nice note of
Sparkling
Coke
water.
Light.
What do you
Coke
have?
Light.
Coke Light.
Oh,
Coke light. I can feel the wings of angels, man. I feel so light. I'm floating to heaven.
that's
Is that just Diet Coke?
That's what it looks like.
It's their version of Diet Coke. Yeah,
Okay.
without all the.
Dude.
There's less stuff that'll kill you, surprisingly.
Sierra Nevada comes in with their new Pilsner. Like, cool. I like a good Pilsner.
Mm-hmm.
And then they bring it, like, he pulls the can out of his little cooler bag because he's got his little sample bag, and he pulls the can out. And it's a Red Bull can. It's like 8.4 ounces.
The fuck?
Like, oh, that's so cute. What are you going to do with that? He goes, well, we think it's going to appeal to the people that drink Pilsners. I'm like, well, I don't think you're right, but I'm like,
It'll appeal to the people who drink Red Bull.
I don't hate the presentation. For me, I think as a product that you're trying to sell for money, you're going to have some issues. And we're sitting there, but it was really good Pilsner.
Okay.
I'm like, what could we do with this if we even brought it in? Mm-hmm. And we're going back and forth. And I go, shot in a beer bag. Because that's basically what it is. Sell it for $6, $5 or $6 with
Genius.
the shot.
Perfect.
Plus the price of the shot.
Perfect. Shot in a beer bag.
It's identical to a Red Bull can. It was a cute presentation. I was like, oh, that's adorable. Where's the real one? He's like, oh no, we're only doing it this size. I was like, really?
That's a mistake.
Yeah.
Does it come in mini kegs too? Is that...
Yeah, I should ask. I didn't.
Little pony kegs.
Yeah.
All right, you guys ready to find out what this is?
The middle one? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, what is it?
I agree. I think $60.
What do you
It's good viscosity.
What do you think it is?
I think it's MGP.
So it's E.H. Taylor single barrel bib.
That's the single barrel?
Yep, that's the bib. 100 proof.
Really?
I mean, MGP and Buffalo Trace do have very similar profiles.
I like them both. I like all three of them.
Yeah, none of them are bad.
Taylor's good. So
Yeah.
I'm not disappointed at that.
And that's, believe it or not, as well. I think SRP is about 70 on the single barrel now.
Okay, that's not bad.
I wonder if it was their single barrel or if it was a pick.
It just says a single barrel is how you wrote it.
I don't know which
And
single
it
barrel
says
I
bib.
opened. I think it's the Rayleigh's pick.
That would make sense. Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't think I opened an actual single barrel. I think I
So
opened.
the pick is about 100 and change then, isn't it?
No. It was $72 or something.
Okay, not that high.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
I'm used to single barrels being pretty expensive depending on what they are.
That's because you buy all those rare characters.
I found out that one of them skunked out, and I went to take a swig of it. It just, the smell was straight. Its smell was just straight alcohol,
Yeah.
and not even the good. It smelled like heavy grain.
Oh, yeah.
And then when I tried it, it was just, ugh.
That happens with enough time.
I didn't-
Time. There was a random L in there somewhere.
Time.
Don't know where that came from.
Time.
Yeah.
I had a couple of 1980s French ones on Sunday.
Oh, yeah. Monica told me.
Yeah.
How were they?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I was surprised. One was a lot better than the other.
Right.
Oh, Christian.
Yeah, they're
Christian
both
sent us
reds.
this is what he tasted.
What did you taste?
So 2 bottles I've never had.
Yep.
Eagle Rare 10,
Yep.
Elmer,
Okay.
and Booker's 23-2.
Oh.
23-2 is a pretty good one, I think. That was that light blue one that year. All right, Christian, what was your favorite?
And Josephus wants news on the J-Bone.
I don't know, because it doesn't tell me when she watches my videos. It just told me that she looked at my profile. She's following me now. So is Bowman's mom.
So,
But I don't get she hasn't found me or tried to make contact, which is nice.
that's probably good.
That's
That's
definitely
good, yeah.
good.
Keyword is yet.
I don't know. Oh yeah, so he goes, that's the first Elmer I've ever had. It was amazing and definitely my favorite. There's a reason that Elmer is Elmer. It's really good.
Elmer's makes a good wood glue. Turns out it's with bourbon, that's why.
Did Bowman go away?
It looks like he's still there. He might have muted himself.
Oh, okay. Well, we're talking about whiskey and cigars.
I believe I accidentally muted myself.
Okay.
I've got some J-Bo news.
Oh,
for,
shit.
Josie.
Let's hear it, Bowman.
It's minimal, but it's minimal, but it's funny.
It's amenable.
And
like
out
you
to
mean
the
it's
field.
acceptable for TV?
No, I said minimal.
Whoa. Wait, hold on. Has she in fact won her $500 billion lawsuit against whoever it was, the GSR?
The Atlantis.
The Atlantis. Okay.
Because they have 500 billion, of course, out of all the casinos to
Yeah.
sue. That's the one, right?
Dude, she at some point I got the number and I'm like, that's false. And she's like, no. This is what my lawyer says I can get. I'm like, there's no chance your lawyer said you can get that.
I mean, was
No
he
lawyer
looking
in
at
their right
everything?
mind.
What's that?
So how many casinos do they own? Just the one?
I don't
Atlantis?
know. I think it's just the one.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's just one.
Then never mind. They don't have that.
They probably don't have 30 million in surplus, dude.
Probably not.
but
Uh,
anyway, so
Wait, hold on, Christian. I believe it was an 82 and an 86 that you tasted.
Yes.
Do you remember what the winery was?
No, I could pull the bottles out the trash.
Okay. I'm
the
curious.
JBN.
I didn't know that you can actually take an old wine and have it repurposed.
But what?
Distill it.
No, like they take it out of the old bottle in
Not
in a
repurposed.
vacuum and they like transfer it.
Revitalized.
Yeah, they do that. I didn't know that they did that. So one of them was redone
Okay.
to a new bottle. The other one was this crusty old disgusting bottle.
Yeah, because a bunch of sediment had fallen out. All right.
It was chalky.
We'll figure out what it is, Christian. In the meantime, what's going on with the J-Bo?
So the best news. So my good news is my ma is finally out of the rehab after like 3 months.
Oh, that's good.
So she's no longer retaining water and that stuff apparently.
And back into the jaws of the family.
Indeed. So I get this call from ma, and she's like talking to me, and she's like, "Oh, I'm so glad I'm finally out of the thing." And it's always the usual stuff about my stepdad, about Pop, about Perry, and all that, the usual stuff.
Yeah.
And then my ma starts talking about the inheritance, and I'm like, "Oh, well, I mean," I was like, "You probably shouldn't." We probably shouldn't talk about this. It was like, hey, it's not my money, so I don't really want to hear about it. Like,
Also, let's not count our chickens before the J-Bo hatches.
Yeah, well, so as she's talking, my mom's talking to me about what's going to happen and whatever, and I'm like, look, and the same thing I always tell her, which is true. It's your stuff. You should take it and you should go to the Bahamas or something and just like sell your house and go buy a beachfront property, or go sell your house and go buy somewhere in Kelowna or Coloma up in Canada and live on a lake by yourself and spend all your money. Like it's your money. Do what you want with it. And then I hear I hear a rustling and I'm like, oh no. and so
It's like the bear coming out of the bushes.
And my mom's telling me everything that's going to happen, and my mom's whispering. She says, "Oh, just want to let you know you're going to be in for one hell of a fight when this is all over." And I'm like, I'm not going to be in for a fight. Just I don't care what happens to it. Spend it all. Like, please, just spend it all.
Yeah.
And then I hear all of a sudden, "Hey." And then she starts I can't use them on the podcast, but she starts saying some of the most derogatory terms you can possibly say, including ones that are derogatory used towards her own kind, at me. I haven't even spoken to her in 4 years.
Yeah.
And she's like, you tell him that I'm going to kill him and that he's never going to see any of that money. And da 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 da. And she just starts going off. My mom's like, okay, I've got to go now. And then I hear, and then the phone hangs up.
Oh no.
And I'm like, oh man, and I'm like, she's only been home for a day and it's already starting again.
Oh, that's brutal.
I just don't. I have trouble. It's about as I can understand her about as well as I can understand what Thailand has been doing.
I mean, the stress levels that it has to create living with her on a daily basis. I don't know how you're like, dude. Your mom's cortisol levels have got to be through the roof.
Oh, I mean, absolutely, dude. I don't know how. The thing is, my dad put it pretty well. He said, on some level, she must enjoy the drama of it all, I guess.
Oh, your mom?
There has to be, in order to put yourself, because nobody puts themselves through the level of insanity that she's put herself through with this 54-year-old, grown woman child that lives in her house and takes all of her money and abuses her constantly.
Yeah, I mean, I think what it is, Cameron, is that it's better than the quiet. Like, it's better than the voices. And I don't mean that in like an actual mental health way. I mean like the depression and thinking about Perry and like the last few years. Like it's just something to fill a more painful void.
Well, yeah, I know. And that's the thing that sucks about that is there was a moment where Mark was living there and everything was great then. And then there was a moment where this kid Turner was living there and it was just the two of them. And he used to take my guitar and play it to my mom and stuff. And they were like the best friends. They'd watch TV and stuff. And he was paying rent to live there. He was paying $700 a month to live there. Really nice kid. Took her to all her doctor's appointments, everything.
Yeah.
And then every single time, the J-Bo blows in like a hurricane, dude, and just tears everything apart. And nobody can hang out in her atmosphere with the exception of her mother, I guess, which is fitting. But like, there's really not anybody that can be around her for very long at all.
No. I mean,
that must be weird.
Yeah. Like as soon as someone comes into your orbit, you know they have an expiration date, and it's your fault.
Yeah, I mean, but also, I mean, she's probably got the same syndrome that Thailand does, where she just nobody's the villain in their own movie, right? So in her own head, in her own mind, she thinks she's the good guy. It's like Christian Waltz in playing the Jew hunter in Inglourious Bastards. When he was talked to about in an interview about how did he play that character and how was he able to come off so evil, and he was like, what? And the interviewer was like, well, you were so evil in that movie. How did you do it? And he was like, he's not evil.
Yeah.
And they're like, what do you mean? He's like, well, everybody in their own mind thinks that they're the hero of the story. So to him, he's not evil. He doesn't think he's evil. He thinks he's a good guy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what made it so scary, right? Well, that's what I think is Jennifer's story is with J-Bo. Sorry, doxed her. Oh well. But yeah. But yeah,
I mean,
J-Bo's
she's yours
story,
to dox, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, what's she gonna do? Fly over here? I highly doubt that's gonna happen. Or come in there and sue Bally's.
Dude, listen, even if she you didn't know she was coming and you didn't have your connections stop her, I don't think she makes it 20 steps out of the airport in Cambodia.
Oh, it'd be horrible. She'd be in such. The thing that's strange, Cambodian people are so at peace that it would literally be like oil and water. It would be. It just. I don't know that the fire could exist here because they'd just be like, "What is this person?" Put them on a plane and send them to Thailand where they belong. Like her in Thailand, dude. If they put her at the border right now, she'd be perfect.
Right? No, she flies in. They're like, no. You've misnationed this person. She was supposed to go to Thailand.
Yeah. She was born in the wrong body. She's Thai. We didn't mean to. She's a Thai man. Okay, so get her over there, teach her her Sawati Kops, and send her on her way. You know. Speaking of people that speak Thai, is James ever around her?
Dude, we haven't seen him in years.
The
Yes.
leprechaun.
I got a call from him at some point about he was asking about working in here, and it was just me and Casey. I mean, it's still just me and Casey, and I was like, we could probably work out like you want to come in on weekends and help out in the humidor like Friday, Saturday night like you used to. And he's like, well, I'm really looking for something like more full time. I'm like, I don't have that, man. Like, I don't think you understand the structure of this shop. Like, it's
Yeah, trying to drill for oil where there is none.
every once in a while, I remember that like when his birthday is, I'll send him a birthday thing, and sometimes he responds, and sometimes he doesn't. Like, every once in a while, like, hey man, just see how you're doing. About 30% of the time, I'll get a quick little email back, but like I haven't seen him in forever.
Last time I saw him was in Chiang Rai, Thailand.
Yeah, I knew that. He talked about it.
Yeah.
Because he told me that you were about to get yourself into some real trouble.
And then you did.
And generally, I don't actually listen to him, but in this instance, it was a bit prophetic.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was dead correct.
Yeah.
And Yeah, I had a good time over there. Yeah, yeah. Yes, say yes to rotten fish heads and ground up pork bones for food.
Better than pumpkin soup.
No, 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 definitely not.
Fish eye. It was fish eye soup.
No, pumpkin soup.
Oh,
That's what they gave POWs in Vietnam.
oh.
Well, I mean, pumpkin soup, man. If we would have had that in there, we would have had a celebration, dude. They would have had it would have been jubilation and the Thai, like, I forget what they call it. They have another name for it. It's not the Bangkok Hilton. It's for the immigration detention center. It's some gnarly name. I can't remember. But yeah, I mean, it was that was a good time. Yay, Thailand. But yeah, James was right. Rarely, but he was right.
Broken clocks and all that.
Yeah, that's a good metaphor for the moment. You ever see that Norm Macdonald joke where he talks about metaphors? Oh my God, it's so funny. He's like, somebody is teaching me about this thing called metaphors, and it's like, oh, well, what's that? And he's like, well, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. And I was like, well, what the hell does that mean? He's like, well, it means you can give a person all the information, but you can't make them use it. And he's like, well, why in the hell didn't you just say that? Did you think I was so stupid that you needed to make up an entire fable around it, trying to make me digest it? You idiot! What's wrong with you? And he's like, the funny thing about metaphors is they're supposed to be applicable in the same in real life, but then there's metaphors like that which doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Which, metaphorically, I guess, a girl breaks your heart and you have a broken heart. The next time you know what to do and you avoid that outcome. But physically, it doesn't make as much sense. That which doesn't kill you just makes you weaker and then eventually kills you next time when it tries. Sorry, that's a bad Norm Macdonald impression, but it's pretty poignant.
Anyway, what else is going on, man? We've covered cigars and whiskey and,
Trump, war, borders, J-Bo. I'll have to send her to Josephus. She could sue him.
So, like, after the Trump press conference where he's like, I don't know that I fully believe Bibi. He comes out. Netanyahu has just got to think that, I don't know what. In fact, I think Netanyahu and the J-Bo are probably very similar human beings. Because he comes out and he's like, there's no starvation in Gaza. And he's like, and any starvation that is happening in Gaza is Hamas's fault. But like the videos and like your warrior, like your army, like shooting people at food distribution centers. I'm not saying it wasn't necessary for whatever reason you've contrived, but at some point you're gonna have to acknowledge, like, the pictures of the kids that are skin and bones with like the bloated stomach are in fact probably starving.
But they just have worms. It's okay.
Like, he just walks out and says lies. And you're like, I mean, I think you'd be better off if you just came out and tried to create a rationale. Like, Netanyahu probably needs to go to the School of Foreign Policy by Donald Trump. He'd be better off.
Janelle, how's it going?
Oh.
The Grand Master Keeper of Pangolins.
And World Arbiter of Justice. Don't forget the real title here.
Yeah, he's going to have a real one underneath your cabinet as well. So
It looks like Christian's going to be in Tahiti and wants a video link in.
I'm not entirely sure how Jeannot feels about Nevada or spending serious time here, if I'm being honest. I would have questions.
I think it would depend on what the offering was. If it was, to add Baroque music to a place that wants to eat instruments for breakfast, then it's perfect.
I mean, but he spends most of his time, and has spent most of his time generally, in places like Santa Barbara and San Luis Obispo and Hawaii.
And don't forget the beautiful San Fernando Valley.
Only if Carpathian would come back now and choose New York.
Well, I mean, you should definitely talk to Janelle sometime about when he's going, because he sells this sap or whatever you put on things that you use to play his old instruments, and he was in Ohio of all places. And you imagine Janelle in Ohio in the winter, or sorry, summer,
I
in
cannot.
the summer. Oh man, imagine! And then he got stuck in an airport in Phoenix.
I mean, these all sound like, knowing Jeannot as I do, these all sound like different variations of his own personal hell.
Oh, I would say so right after the podcast, last week I called him and he was like, I was like, how's it going? He was like, shit, it's Tuesday, isn't it? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, why do I always forget? And I was like, well, I don't know, because we moved it by one day and we're all old. And then he's like, you know where I am? I'm like, no. And he was like, stuck in fucking Phoenix. And I was like, oh no. Of all the places for a Jeannot to be stuck. And he's like, you wouldn't believe it. It was so hard to get them to even get me a hotel room. And I'm just trying to think of the hotel room that an airline puts a Jeannot in Phoenix when it's a problem with their airline.
I mean,
like, oh,
listen,
God.
Phoenix, I feel like that was a better alternative to Ohio. I feel like, generally speaking, in Ohio, Jeannot, like, you know, the person who's like running from something, and every time they turn down a hallway, there's like another enemy. But now imagine just general statements that all offend his sensibilities. Wherever he turns, he hears something else that makes him just pull back and cringe. And then he goes another way. And it's just this like mindless circle of offensive statements. I don't know what would happen, did you know?
He's like hiding behind his bases.
Yeah.
I mean,
At some point, he's just cowering in the corner with the bass in front.
Yeah, no, I mean it'd be funny to see like just I can't imagine him in a like in that situation in Phoenix. It just like Phoenix is such a shithole. I mean, I got stuck in Phoenix once, and I like deserts, and that's saying something.
he tried Cincinnati chili.
Is it on my driver's license and SS?
Oh, how was the chili? You know,
Was it pangolin free? Was it?
Oh yeah, pangolin free chili. Well, I don't know. It's Cincinnati. Was it Cincinnati-ish? Was it a sinful dish?
I mean, I feel like Cincinnati underground could be one of the places where you could eat like endangered species at like
100%.
100%, yeah.
100%.
like a
They're in
super
Baltimore.
exclusive like $50,000 dinner. yeah, Cincinnati and Baltimore, and probably Miami.
Oh, Miami for sure. You could probably, yeah. I mean, I'm sure you could get human down there, man. That good old human meat. You know,
the
you know what I'm saying?
Longhorn.
Playa.
Long pork.
You know, I wish we could get on the podcast at some point. Is the wolf Morgan the Wolf?
Yes.
That
I
would
would
be
like.
incredible.
I wouldn't even be on the podcast. I would just let Morgan talk to you and Casey and Kevin, because it would be amazing.
He hates me so much; it would be perfect.
Does he?
Yeah, it was all over a fantasy football league.
Really?
Yeah,
I
so
would have thought
Morgan.
I would have thought fantasy football was below Morgan.
No, he loved his fantasy football, man, but it was gambling, right? So
Oh, there was money on it.
there was money on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a $50 league, and I don't remember what happened, but somewhere I was unhappy with how the league was being run, and I dropped out of the league, and he still wanted the money, and I told him to shove it, and then he's never talked to me since, which is
Really?
about, yeah, I would guess that's about 20 years ago now,
It's been
maybe
a real
18
minute.
years ago.
No, it can't be that long ago.
Well, I left in 2003 down to San Luis Obispo.
Yeah, but didn't you
then-
take the tour of Oakland after that?
That was 2005, I think.
Okay.
Oh, that was funny. I will never forget that. Bringing the Holdren down.
Oh yeah, you can't. We can't.
If you can
that
imagine,
story cannot be on the podcast.
Well, I mean, I could dance around it well enough, I think.
You? No.
I mean, the problem is the punchline gets us banned.
Yeah, that's also true.
Yeah, it's,
The punchline's the. Well, I mean, I don't know. It's a blanket enough. But then again, I guess
No.
you can connect the dots pretty well.
I'm pretty sure that would happen fast.
Well, just imagine. I'll just do a snippet. Is just imagine Holdren, who you all know well from the podcast, a cowboy being dropped off in the middle of downtown ghetto Los Angeles in a compound with a white guy who is basically about as African American as you can get, with nails this long, like the women that are in the beauty parlors down there, and driving around in a Lincoln and being shown the actual ghetto, the real ghetto. And the look on Holdren's face was like the moment in Jurassic Park when they realize that the fences are down and he's in the car. He's like, oh my God. You know, he's like, this can't be real. Morgan's just driving. He's like, yeah, don't look at him for too long. They'll come over to the car. And he's like, what do you mean they'll come over to the car? He's like, they'll come to the car. And if they come to the car, you don't want to see what happens next. And Holdren's like, well, what do I do? He's like, just don't look at him.
Yeah, like,
And he's like, Holdren's just sitting there like, you know, like, oh, it was hilarious, man. It was one of the funniest drives I've ever had. It was like Training Day, but a comedy.
did I tell you, like, tail end of COVID, he ran about every 5 years, Morgan will hit me up. And we'll talk for a few days, and then he disappears again, right? Because Morgan. So tail end of COVID, he hits me up. We're talking about the shop. And the company, like all the companies had production issues during COVID, but the company with the worst production issues and quality control during COVID was comfortably Fuente. And I was complaining about it because we were losing so many cigars. And I wasn't complaining for any reason. I was just talking about the business. And he goes, oh, do you want me to tell Carlito? And I was like, Carlito who? He goes, Fuente. I'm like, I mean, do you just want to randomly email Carlito Fuente about our cigar problems? He goes, no. He goes, I met him years ago. We started talking boxing. We've been friends ever since. I text him almost every day. Like, I'm sorry, what now? But hold on, please. You are like texting buddies with Carlito Fuente. He's like, yeah, I'll tell him you're having problems. We'll get it squared away. Like, I don't think he wants to hear about the problems in our little cigar shop in Lake Tahoe. Yes. But the whole idea that he's like the random connections that he makes in life blow my mind.
Oh, and he's good at it. The one thing that I remember on his. Oh God, this is funny. And also spaghetti. They serve chili on spaghetti. What?
Yeah.
I'm never going there. But yeah. So I. Oh man. Oh, that made me lose my mind just thinking about spaghetti and chili.
I mean,
at
it's
the
not
same
that
time.
bad.
So
It's similar to chili mac, just with spaghetti noodles.
Okay, well, I'm in Vegas with Morgan for his bachelor party, right? And so Morgan's like, he's like, yeah, man, I want to go to a strip club, and it's hard. I can't even do his voice because he is the most ghetto-sounding white human ever. Like it's like ridiculous. And he's like, I want to go to a strip club, but like we're all dressed up. I've got my Armani suit on, and he's like, here's what we're gonna do, man. We're gonna go in there, and we're gonna tell them that I'm Weird Al Yankovic's kid. And you're my bodyguard, and this is my entourage with Holdren and everybody. And I'm like, all right, let's do it, right? So we go up in the limo, we roll up. I get out first. I open the door for him, you know, like Mr. Yankovic. And so he's Morgan Yankovic, right? So
now, mind you, visually speaking, Morgan Wolf could pull off entitled Nepo Baby of Weird Al Yankovic.
Okay.
Oh, and also just his attitude in general is perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, and he's got these, like I said, he's got these long, perfect, and he grows them. They're not like glued on. Like they're real nails, and they're impeccable. They're perfect. They're better. Like they're well manicured every 3 days, you know, kind of stuff. So first thing I pull up in the limo. Actually, I get out of the limo. I go up, I walk around. I go right up to the bouncer, right? And there's like a line of people. And I'm like, excuse me, can I have a moment of your time, sir? And he's like, yeah, what's going on? And I'm like, we have a celebrity here. Is Mr. Al Yankovic's son, Morgan Yankovic, and he would like some privacy, please. And he's like, oh, Weird Al? No way. You talking like the Weird Al? Like fat? I'm fat. I'm like, don't please don't use that around Mr. Yankovic, sir. And he's like, oh, why? I'm like, you'll see why.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, well, yeah, just have him come up and we'll let him in. And so we get out and I escort Mr. Wolf in. He's got this beautiful like Angora, whatever, what is it? The Argyle like jacket thing or whatever. I don't know what it's called. It says some kind of dead sheep thing from the mountains of wherever. And he's like, we cruise in and they seriously, man, they pull out all the stops, right? They pull out all the stops. They're throwing everybody at us. We have like our own VIP space, everything, right? So then it comes down to it, and everything's going on. I'm the bodyguard guy, and then they call me aside, and they're like, excuse me, but Mr. Yankovic is going to need to pay his bill. And I'm like, oh, well, we can settle it up afterward. And they're like, no, you spent a lot of money already. You're going to need to settle it up now. And I'm like, how much is it? And it was somewhere to the tune of like $570.
Yeah.
And I think we'd been there for 30 minutes. And I hadn't even had a lap dance or anything yet. And I'm like trying to break away to get back to Morgan, and they won't let me. They're like, no, I don't think you want to stand, sir. There's an ATM right here. And I'm like, what? So you want me to go pull out the money from my ATM right now and pay this bill? And they're like, yes, sir. Otherwise, there's going to be big trouble. And I'm like, why is there going to be big trouble? They're like, quite obviously, sir, I know that is not Mr. Yankovic's son. I looked it up, and Mr. Yankovic don't have no son that age. And I was like, shit.
Yeah.
So they take me over, bro, and I pull out the money, and it was like, it ended up being like almost like $1,000 and with fees and everything.
Yeah.
I had to pay for all of us to get out of there, and then they threw us out of the club like we were nothing. And then Morgan made up for it, of course. Like afterward, he took us out to he. I don't want to sound like Morgan ditched me with the bill. I did have to pay it, but then he took us out and took care of everything for the next like 2 days. Of course, that whole time we're taking care of Holdren, which is one of the funniest stories ever. We show up in Vegas for this bachelor party.
The daily march to North Vegas.
Oh, dude. So it's the best part. Holdren shows up. He's got, oh man. So he's he's got $700 or something on him. We get to the Bellagio. Fantastic place to go when you have $700.
You can't do that. You can't do that to Holdren.
It was Holdren's his own doing. That was where he wanted to go. So we followed him, which was
you can't
stupid.
give in to that. He doesn't have the willpower for the Bellagio.
No, man. So we get in there. So Morgan, Mark, and myself, and we sit at the one of those big, beautiful bars they have. Holdren immediately goes to the I think it's $10 tables is the minimum they had in the Bellagio. He goes over there. We're just sitting and we're talking. And within 20 minutes, Holdren comes back and he's like, I'm buying everybody whatever they want, man. And I'm like, whoa, really? What happened? He's like, I won like $2,500, dude. And we're like, yeah, sweet, man. That's amazing. And he's like, he buys me a shot of Johnny Walker Blue Label, which is like ridiculously expensive. And he's like, I'm going to the $25 tables. And then both my brother and I are like, man, no, no, don't do that. Like, we gotta go to dinner. Like, we're going to dinner. He's like, no, dude, I'm on a roll. I'm gonna do it.
I'm on a heater.
He's like, but you guys gotta come with me. You guys, you and your brother gotta come with me. So we go there, and we're standing, and within 8 minutes, all of his money is gone. Nothing is left, and he's just crying at the table. And Mark, next to me, he's tearing up. And we're like, and he's like, I don't know what to do. What have I done? What have I done? Oh my God. And I'm like, oh, we got to go, dude. We got to get out of here. And so we go out front and Morgan's walking out front and he's like, he's got nothing for Holdren at this point. He's like, whatever. I don't want to talk to him. I don't want to see his face. So I'm walking with Holdren and he's like, man, can you just give me like $10? And I'm like, I'm not giving you any money. Like, just give me $10, man. No, I'm not going to give you $10. Gets on his knees in the Bellagio parking lot, and he's like, "Dude, just give me $10. I just didn't need to have some money in my pocket, man." And I'm like, "I am not going to give you any money. I will, however, pay for everything. All right? So just shut up and get on your feet." Fast forward like 2 hours, and I'm in a hotel room, and he tries to rock bottom me onto the bed, and I end up punching him in the face, and then I'm the bad guy somehow. There you go. One night with Morgan and Holdren.
Yeah. I thought it was going to go much deeper than that.
I don't want to bore everybody to death.
Yeah.
You guys get more much deeper than that. There's steak dinners in the middle. There's a whole the Wild West in there. There's a story there. There's a story at the circus.
Well, someone also gave him like a few $100s more.
Oh yeah, not just someone, everybody except for me.
Yeah.
I'll just never forget the look on Morgan's face when I was like, he's like, "Okay, well, we got to get going," and I'm like, "Oh, Holdren's down at the tables," and he was like, "No, he's not, man. I gave him his money so he can fly back." And Mark's like, "What? I gave him money to fly back."
No,
and I'm like,
and
"Dude,
you're like, he's down at the tables.
Yeah, he's at the tables. And Morgan's like, "No, he would never do that, dude." And I'm like, "He's at the tables, dude." And he was like, "What tables?" I'm like, "Oh, I don't know. I would guess if we walk out the elevator, probably the first ones you can see on your left." And he's like, "How do you know that?" And I'm like, "Because it's Holdren." And he's like, "No way, dude. No way." So we get all our stuff. We go down, walk out, first table on the left. There's Holdren. Morgan lost it, bro. In the middle of we were at the Mandalay Bay for that one. And oh man, Morgan lost it. Whew, he was not happy. But you know, his dad was part of Apple and stuff, so he wasn't going to get in any trouble. But yeah, Holdren had a way with that, and with having like 4 girlfriends at the same time.
Yes, for the record. Yeah, no, that's also true. Like, he has apparently cleaned it up quite a bit, but there's a significant part of his life where he was the Nevada sob story.
Really?
Oh,
Like, he was the reason you don't gamble. Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, he definitely sobered up and he swore off the stuff, and then now he's basically now ironically he runs a restaurant and a casino, and he does very well for himself.
Yeah.
I'm proud of the guy actually, but it's not going to change the fact that all these stories are real.
That they did in fact happen.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what's up with you guys? How's Tahoe? It's summer.
It's slow, believe it or not. I mean, not like it's still busy. It's still Tahoe, but like generally speaking, the entire town is down like almost 20%. Not as bad as Vegas. Vegas is down a lot.
Oh wow.
But like, you don't need to go very far in Tahoe to understand how people feel about the upcoming economy.
Fair.
They're worried.
It's rough.
Yeah, I can imagine. Well, I mean, that's why they need the governor. You know.
Back to that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Ancient
I mean,
saint
I
gambling.
legitimately think, like, Nevada, probably more than any other, like, as a whole, the service industry in Nevada, like hospitality generally, has resort priced everything, right? More than any other place that large. And I finally think we just hit the tipping point. Like,
well, I think we all kind of knew that was going to happen when American Ski Company got bought by Vail, right? All the locals were like, "Oh, that's the beginning of the end."
But I mean, it's across the entire state. It's casinos everywhere. I mean, probably Wendover is safe, but like $35 Crown and Cokes in Vegas, you know, like resort priced everything, $15 beers across all of Tahoe, which fine. Like, it's not a huge amount of money in a single instance, but when you're asking people to come up or like to visit multiple times in a summer, it adds up fast. And no one's willing to spend that money right now. Like, the only businesses in Tahoe that are up are the grocery stores, which means people are just buying stuff and going home.
I'm supposed to be going to Vegas in September, and I don't want to.
Yeah, Vegas. You can go with Janelle.
Yeah, right?
Well, why don't you want to go?
I hate Vegas. I was born there, living there. I hated it. The heat sucked. I got into a lot of trouble.
What kind
my
of
name
trouble?
is well, my name's still known at the school, and there's a couple of bars that I'm still not allowed to go to.
Vegas got really good at capitalizing on exclusivity, and they forgot that the foundation of their businesses is still less than that. Like, you still need. So I was telling somebody the other day, like, the young crowd won't come out and drink without value, right? Like you have to offer specials, and everyone's like, it's a lesser crowd. You can think that if you want, but like they offer you a service whether you realize it or not, because the old crowd loses momentum pretty quick. They've got the money to spend, but they're not giving your business the energy you need to keep it alive. The young crowd does that. So you offer value to the young crowd, you offer experience to the old crowd, but you can't do it separately. And if you take out the bottom, the top eventually dies.
True.
Well, it's like if you think about it, like Slow and Santa Barbara had it really kind of perfectly down. You know, you got to have in Santa Barbara, you got to have the SPO.
Yeah.
You know, you got to. But if you don't have the library in Santa Luis Obispo, and you know what was the place that was really bad next to it? That was the English place, the English pub.
Oh,
Frog
Frog and
and
Peach?
If you don't have the dive bars to prop the place up, you're never going to have a Mother's. You're never going to have those places, because you have to have the Wild West Casino in order for the Mandalay to work.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know where everybody, like, it's like Tahoe. You needed Lakeside and Bills to have the reason it worked during that one magical period of time when Chuck was I remember when Chuck was champ, Tahoe was booming. It was crazy up there. And that was when everything was kind of perfect. You had the Lakeside where the locals could go drink, and it was like Jeannot said about Santa Barbara when we kept having trouble with the hostel. Is I said, you know, because we were like, after we opened the hostel, then all of a sudden there were like more reputable businesses coming to Milpas, and then we started catching heat from the hotel lobbies. They were hiring people to protest in front of us, all kinds of stuff. And I was talking to Jeannot, and he was like, "You're never going to win this." And I'm like, "Why?" And he was like, "Because Santa Barbara likes Milpas just where it is." And I was like, well, "I don't understand what that means," but now I get it. You got to have a place where the people working can live, and can drink, and can eat out and enjoy them. So they have to have their place. Tahoe doesn't have that anymore, I don't think.
No, I mean, you think about it, dude. You had the paid VIP parties for the fights. The fights are really good, like, cross-section of time for Tahoe, right? When UFC was huge, when poker was huge, you had the exclusive poker room, you had the exclusive VIP parties for the fights, but you also had the poker room at Lakeside, or the fights televised on every TV at Bill's with $3 beers. Like, everyone could come out, and they crossed a little bit, and they supplemented everyone's business a little bit. Like, everyone from Bill's went over, and they were part of the scene at Harris for a little bit, but then they went and got their cheap beers and their cheap cocktails at Bill's, right, and to play pool in the pool, like in the pool bar. But they all crossed, and like the guys from the VIP parties would come over to Bill's because we were the only place that did like car bombs. We were the only place that would like serve certain shots and certain drinks. So like it all it's never completely separate. Like everything crosses a little bit, and then everyone goes back to their corner.
Yeah, I mean the beauty of how that works. And I mean, I have a question for you about that, by the way, Lane. Is the beauty of how that actually works is you do end up with some severe cross-pollination because, and sorry, but Holdren yet again is another great example. He's the kind of guy who's going to hang out at Bill's. He's going to hit a four kings while he's drinking dollar beers, and he's going to win $1,000. And then where do you think he's going to go?
He's going to go to Harris.
Bill's. Yeah, he's going to go to Harris immediately. Or back in the day, he would go to Caesars or Mount Blue or.
But they're going to go.
They're go to the more prestigious places.
Now that they have some credibility, they're going to go take it. Like they're going to go be seen in the scene, right?
Yeah, they're going to go buy tickets to the club. They're going to go get a VIP. He used to get VIP. Whenever he would win, he would go to Nero's and he would buy a VIP booth from me, right? And that would be like Holdren's thing. You'd know he won
because he was buying. He was buying bottles. He was popping off and buying bottles. But
there's a lot of things that can be said about that man, by the way, but that's one thing. He was effing generous, dude.
When he won?
Extremely generous.
But like, what Nevada generally has forgotten is that gaming is aspirational. It's not entertainment. Like, it is. Oh, camera died. But, like, gaming is about trying to reach the next level. And it's like you're doing it quickly. You're not doing it through like hard work and a job. but it's aspirational. There's like a degree of hope. There's a degree of excitement that goes away from that. And when you just make it a cash grab, that goes away.
Well, I mean, you're going to have people who gamble to have that, like what you're talking about. But then there's people who actually view it as this can change my status as a person. And I think that is, well, I mean, so this is a question for you, Lane, is from, like, for the state of Nevada, from a government perspective, what can they do to bring it back?
I don't think it's not a government issue. It's a corporation issue.
It's all corporations. They have to
So
eat,
the
they have to
government,
eat
so
the loss.
there's nothing you think the government would be able to do to shift people towards wanting to create more businesses like Bill's and Lakeside that are locally owned that could tailor to that specific market?
I mean, generally, I would say there's always mechanisms, there's always levers that the government can pull through tax breaks and incentives and funding of different sort of expansions. Like, there's things they can do. But, like, Nevada is got to be home to the cheapest liquor license in the country. I mean, outside of Clark County, $750. Outside of Clark County, it's $750. Clark County has, like, some add-ons and stuff, but you're still not talking about a massively expensive liquor license. Clark County, I think, is $5,000, which in California is that is a check everyone in California would write for a liquor license tomorrow. I mean, in California, you're talking about like $50,000 just to get in the conversation. And if you're buying someone's liquor license, they already own it. It could be as much as $1.5 million, right?
Oh,
like depending on the list.
Yeah,
depending on the license and the conditions and whatever. Like Nevada as a state is still doing a very good job at promoting these industries. The industries are just getting it wrong.
So what if, like, so just as a hypothetical, because I'm a dum-dum when it comes to government, but what if there was some kind of a program to incentivize people to open more, like some kind of a grant or package that could be given to somebody that's going to open a bar of a certain caliber, that's going to keep prices at a certain place, et cetera, that makes it the barrier to entry, even though it's only $750, like perhaps something like $5,000 we can give as a like kind of like some kind of bonus for them to open a business that's going to be in a certain sector of blah, 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 blah. So as far as like, you're not going to charge $15 drinks, because I think if somebody opened a place in Tahoe that actually was like Bill's right now, they would make an absolute killing and just don't realize it, because all the people that are there, that live there and work there, that's where they would be.
Well, I mean, this is the thing, right? Like, you don't need that. Like, in Vegas, like, okay, 330 million tourist visits a year. Right, it makes really good sense. The cash grab makes sense in Las Vegas. Now, it doesn't right now. They're down almost 30% in tourist visits. They're struggling hard. But, like, casinos are still a license to print money if you do it right. I saw a box in Carson City make more money off what is largely fixed incomes than every casino outside of Reno in northern Nevada, except for Harrah's. And Harrah's cheats. Yeah. I mean, they were doing a brilliant job. And I know everyone, like, the loss leader, the incentive is a problem. Like, it's dirty language in Nevada right now. But I was losing 7 figures a year in food and beverage on purpose. And when I was asked, why can't we make money in food and beverage? I said, we can. I can make every restaurant in here profitable if you want. And they said, great. Why don't we do that? I go, what if it costs you $15 million on the floor? Well, and fortunately at the time, my GM was smart enough to go, I'm not willing to take that risk. Good, you shouldn't be. You have maxed out this casino, and it is immensely profitable. The regime after us immediately did what the GM had presented me with years before, and immediately lost 35% of their gaming. In fact, they lost about $18 million a year.
Ooh.
So, like, well, I mean, you saved, like, you took your 7 figures, you're now saving, we're going to call it $2.5 million, right? You've just increased your bottom line by $2.5 million in food and beverage. Great. But you just lost 18 on the floor. Is that worth it? In no world is that worth it. Now, a lot of casinos thought that it didn't matter, and in Vegas it didn't forever. Now it does, and they're going to have to figure it out. It has mattered the entire time for every property not named Harrah's in South Lake Tahoe, and those properties have died, and they don't know why. And it's a really simple equation. You incentivize gaming with food and beverage, with hotel stays, and with amenities, because nothing in this building can make what gaming makes. Nothing.
Yeah, I mean that's the strange part for me is it seems like for people that grew up there and the boom era of Tahoe, when it used to be like, dude, you could get a free room for Holden always had free rooms. That guy had more drink tickets and free food and rooms, but dude, that guy spent all of his money went into the game, like everything he had went right into the slots.
There's no business in a casino that makes what the casino floor makes. When it's right, nothing comes close.
Yeah, I mean, it's just weird that it's weird to me that people come in, and it seems to me that it's usually people that are from different industries, like the hotel industry or food and beverage industry, that are coming in, and they suddenly want to project themselves onto an already working business model, and it collapses the whole thing.
Legitimately, the best piece of advice I got from the casino owner when I started at that property as the director, he said, I want you to make this yours. I want you, like, as we go through this, the changes will be yours. The restaurants will be yours. He goes, but I ask you do one thing. If it's not broken, don't fix it.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, it looks to me like from the outside looking in that pretty much all of Nevada is almost broken. Even Burning Man's falling apart now.
Yeah, I mean, dude, look at what Burning Man cost at this point. And look at who goes. Like, you can't, VC in San Francisco shuts down that week because there's so much money at Burning Man doing the, like, fake living in the desert thing. And I'm sorry, but, like, they're like, we're going to survive. You're not surviving. You took out 40 gallons of water. You spent 10 grand just to supply your RV for the week. Nothing about that is surviving.
Well, when I was working there was a place called Star that hired me all the time. And they had like Miley Cyrus and all the Justin Bieber and all that staying there. And I'll never forget, I was installing a solar rig, right? And so I'm installing the solar rig, and Miley Cyrus walks by, and then she goes into this giant tent, right? And so this place, to make it make sense, you know those like $300,000, $400,000 RVs?
Yeah.
There's like 100 of them just lined up that go down, just boop, 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 and they all have a 250 kVA generator to each one of them, all the way down the run, right? And then they're like, we want to put solar on the stage so it makes us look forward-facing that we're saving the environment. So I'm doing that part, and I see Miley Cyrus walk, and she goes into this tent, right? And then like maybe an hour later, she comes out. I didn't notice she came out because she looked completely different. Like she had a different face, everything. And so they had top-level professional, like movie, like the people who do like the Penguin, the show The Penguin. You know, like that level of makeup was there. And I remember sitting there and I was like putting the solar rig up, and then some girl comes up and she's like, hey, so by the way, you guys, since you're here, you're allowed to go in and you can have one meal in the commissary. It's not very much, you know, it's not, don't expect too much, but go ahead and go in there and you can have a meal. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool, thanks. Now, mind you, I have my Land Rover behind Sacred Spaces stage, and I've got on the hood of my Land Rover, I have a can of chili that I leave there in the morning, and then when I come back in the afternoon, it's hot and it's ready to eat. That's how I do Burning Man. So I go in at this place that doesn't have a lot going on. I walk in there, man, and it's full on, like 5-star chefs, like craziness, and I'm like, what the? They're like, would you like filet mignon, sir? And I'm like, would you like a raspberry truffle sauce? And I'm like, what in the hell is going on here? Like, it blew my mind. I was like, how much money is being spent in this camp? And I asked the guy who hired us, and it was like, to camp there costs $100,000.
Ooh.
That he would charge, and it comes with its own RV, your own personal, a PR person, makeup artist, friends. You get friends with you. So people who are actual real burners that they hire.
Yeah.
That have been there, and their only job is to make sure that you feel like you're experiencing Burning Man and to be your friends for the whole thing, and make sure to guide you through drug trips and all that stuff. Like, it's all. And I was like, dude, sign me up.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll do that, you know. But unfortunately, you know, I was already too busy that year. I was running 3 stages at Burning Man. But now Burning Man what's interesting is the deals that get made in the dust, man. Holy
Yeah.
hell. They're all out there just throwing money around, talking about massive like takeovers of corporations and mergers and acquisitions and shit. And you're just like, whoa, dude, okay, cool. Because they're like, I hang out with a lot of those people while I'm there, and it's like, whoa, this has changed a lot since before. But yeah, anyway, Nevada, yay.
Nevada.
Nevada is like, it's a pretty solid allegory to the country right now. Like, Nevada has all the tools to do whatever it wants, and it's just fucking it up.
Well, it's been invaded by California.
Fair.
Anyway,
California policies are taking over there, aren't they?
I mean, listen, I'm a Californian, but I've spent most of my career working in casinos, and there's no business like them.
You are too, Casey. What are you booing for?
Yeah, I mean, casinos are. I swear by casinos, man. They're Tahoe would be nothing without casinos.
I mean,
realistically,
casinos can create a scene that nothing else can come close to. Like, nothing. It's its own thing. Like, it's its own deal. We play by different rules. Like, we get to do things that no one else does. And the more they try and make it look like a spreadsheet business, the worse it gets. Like, you can't fake being part of the scene. This is part of the exclusivity problem. Like, you cannot be part of the scene for part of it. But at some point, you have to be part of the scene. Like, that's how you enjoy it. That's the experience. Like, you have to get down in there. You can't fake it. And they're trying to create, like, the casinos in Nevada are trying to create this place where you can come and be seen and stand above, but you're never really a part of what's going on. And you're just missing the entire experience.
yeah, it's weird and it's funny because we've seen, at least in our lifetime, I've seen Vegas do this before, and Nevada do this before, where they try to go way too, like you're talking about now, where it's like, you feel like you're at Hollywood or something. So you'll never know. You'll never be able to be in that room with James Cameron, but you can be on the same block and know where he is, kind of feeling. And you never really feel fully included, like where before you were the party when you went to Vegas. You were part of it. You were one of the reasons why people were coming to Vegas was because of you. Because you were there.
And this is part of it, right? High limit gaming. So private gaming is illegal in the state of Nevada. If you have the money, it's the scene from Rounders, right? I want to buy in to that table for $100,000. Mm-hmm. If you can play one hand at $1,000 blackjack table, you can go sit next to Michael Jordan for a hand. And unless he's playing every seat, there's nothing he can do about it.
Yep.
Yeah, everybody's equal. Once you're at the table.
Anyway. Yeah, and like on top of that, it's not just about gaming in Nevada. Like, Nevada has the ability, because of gaming, to incentivize whatever industry it wants. And Reno's starting to do that, and Vegas has done that. But they can build whatever industry in Nevada they want because gaming and gaming revenue.
Yeah, it's a rare beauty, that thing.
Anyway, I've come to really like this state. Like, it's a part of me at this point. Like, I've got to do things in casinos that no one else gets to do.
Kevin, make sure that you cut that for the campaign.
Well, clip that.
Yeah, that's a campaign promise right there.
That was the perfect campaign moment if I have ever heard one ever.
Hey, that's a TikTok right there.
I really love this state.
Yes.
And it's genuine. And you're like, I've done things with casinos that I would never be. It's so perfect. Oh my God. I got that one written
We're
down.
gonna AI that with a suit.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, for real, man.
I need
yeah,
you to wear
guys,
a suit jacket and a shirt from now on, from the top down up, so we can just splice those into your campaign trailers.
That was the perfect campaign moment, just organically happening through the lane. It's already happening. He's becoming the governor of Nevada.
All right. Are we done for the night?
Yep.
Now that I've been appropriately made fun of?
We're at 2 hours.
All right. Cameron, you got anything you
I'm
want to close
serious.
with? No, I know. Listen. It's genuine. Like, I really appreciate this state, and I really appreciate what casinos offer. Like, when done right, casinos are a really cool experience. They can also be shit.
Can Can you look at the camera when you say that? So that you're like you're speaking to the people.
With the people. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, for my end, I'd like to say to the people out there, especially when it comes to the Cambodia thing, like, just understand that whatever has been shown for the last like 5 days is mostly a creative narrative. It's not a creative narrative. Cambodia is not doing anything. It's just sitting here trying to figure out how not to die. And so, hopefully the world stands behind that and helps to make sure that this conflict doesn't get out of hand with Thailand. Other than that, I'm pretty, I'm good. This has been great.
Josephus, you can't say that because then he won't do it.
Hey, Jano said he'll move to Nevada when you run.
I might have to, actually.
All right, Kevin, take us out.
All right, guys, if you made it this far, do the YouTube stuff, and we'll catch you on the next video.
Ow! All right.
Sadness. Every time you do that, sadness.